Okay, Scorpio, here's your reading for the Christmas season and into the new year. Yeah, I've got work, spirituality, and an extended love reading. So I'll get right into it here. We'll start with the spiritual. First card, know your fears. Do I have to do this? Hold on here. It's evening, so I guess I don't know if that helps or not. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, know your fears. No, it doesn't. It puts too much glare. Whatever. Okay, we'll try it with this one. Okay. Okay, Scorpio. We may have a lot of fear surrounding our energy field at this time. And the sense is we don't want to waste too much energy on fear, and we got to know what they are so we can exclude what is not working for us. There's constructive fear and non-constructive. There's irrational fear. All of this, that's what they're sending me here. So there's a sense of needing discernment when it comes to our fear zone. Next card, challenge your perception. Oh, so that tells me that we may have some fears here that are either unfounded or irrational, this kind of thing. Things that if we look a little deeper or do a little bit of, yeah, that's too much glare, sorry. Do a little bit of investigation here, we're going to find that we may be perceiving things wrong. So those things that we fear, we may not actually need to fear them. This kind of thing. So an assessment in that way in our fear zone. This is what is going on spiritually. Wash away your burdens. This usually has to do with emotions, emotional burdens, right? Things that are heavy upon us that we need to let go of. Some of this may be our fears. Maybe those things that we believe, like fear, when you stand behind that wall, it is just a perception. When you crash through it, it is no longer what it used to be. So the sense here is we need to do this in our life. We need to crash through our fears here. We are letting it limit us to a high degree, so much so that we are not living our life to the fullest potential. And this is what, right? We need to break through our fears. And then, well, first of all, we need to acknowledge what is rational and irrational, valid and not valid, constructive, this kind of thing, what is working and what is not. When we go outside in the dark of night and someone is followed, that is a valid fear. But there are other things that are not, that are there to, to help you, but other things that are not doing us any good. This is what they want you to sift through spiritually, your fear zone, and figure out what it is that needs to go, because this will really drain you quite quickly if we do not, if we let it build too high. Okay, now we're going into the above cards. To expand on the fear zone here, we get the 10 of air, which speaks to tarot. This is interesting. Some of you may be afraid of what the future holds. We may be afraid of... Now, I'm taking this lightly. We may have a religion that... How do you say, oh, I'm going to cross a line here with some people. We may be diving into metaphysical abilities. Got to slow down. Metaphysical abilities. And because of this, we may have a belief system that is keeping us in fear of this, when in fact it can be a tool along with our instinct to get us further ahead. This is part of what they are asking you to open up to, and some people are just not going to do it because of religious beliefs and whatnot. There is a block here that prevents us from going in an area and exploring for our highest good, our highest potential, and because we let that block us, we just will not gain access to it, is the sense. So there are some, I don't think there's anybody watching these videos, But it'll be people in judgment of the esoteric, right? Where is this stuff coming from? Well, if an instinct comes, is that as bad as going through tarot? Because it's really an extension of the, da da da. So, a whole line of stuff there. Dipping into our metaphysical abilities is not something this Scorpio is feeling valid at this time. They're feeling in fear of this. Okay. Challenge your perceptions. The universe is trying to come in here to challenge you to perceive things in a different way. We may be in fear of those things outside of us that can bring answers because we may not understand truly where they come from, or we may doubt where they come from, this kind of thing. Your perception is off. So what do we get on top of that? Ooh, Two of Air. Look at this now. Clear guidance. This is right down the middle, right? There's a cross there and a pendulum and angels. Guidance from above that will clear our path. If we are in fear of the guidance, we cannot clear this path. Simple as that. Say no more, they said. Wash away your burdens. What do we get there? We have the Temperance card. Right place, right time. This is also screaming to me the rainbow here going into the pot. She is pouring. She is in control of this. I feel like this has an emotional connection here. And I feel like the emotions draining out of us, this is the burdens that we want to wash. So emotional healing, spiritual healing. Yeah. Oh, there goes my cat. Sorry, guys. She just can't make up her mind. So, and again, they're going, and her eyes are closed. So there is something here. It's almost like guidance from above is wanting to come in, but we're shutting it all out. But this is saying, even though we need to maybe wash away some burdens, I feel like the burdens are the fear that we have against all of this stuff that could help us. On top of that, there's also a grounded reality here that we may come across something, a lucky strike, whether we, whether we interpret it as metaphysical or logical. We will not be able to put it in a logical box. It is here to prove something to this Scorpio, but the thing is it's going to affect you no matter whether you believe in it or not. It's going to affect you from the same place, is the sense, like something fated or something highly pivotal to your life path at this time. Sorry, the lighting all day has been off, so I can't. There's not much I can do. Oh, there's, yeah, I might have to turn it that way and move over here a little bit because it's just... Sorry, guys. Okay, so to finish off the spiritual side, again, a fear of the metaphysical, a fear of the future, a fear of foretelling. There's a what do you call that? Negative connotation here to all of this stuff. A fear that may be irrational, like they're saying we could get a lot of insight in this area, but we choose to either block it out or have a belief system that blocks it out, and we carry on, and therefore it cannot bring us the proper things in that way because we do not believe in it, in a sense, within the personal. It's not that it doesn't exist if we don't believe in it. It still exists, but for us, it can't get through, it can't manifest for us, these metaphysical things. And at this time, I feel like Scorpio is being touched by the universe with these energies trying to connect on this path. We're not, because of our belief system, we're not getting through, is what they're saying. So anyway, to expand on that, know your fears. Service of emotions. Now, this is the novice. This is the beginning phases of dealing with the emotional center. I'm wheezing again. And I didn't bring a drink. Yeah, see, because they're explaining to me, they're going, our breath, not being able to breathe, our breath is really not wanting to take in life and all its glory. And so this is relating to this reading in this way. It's like we can't breathe in fully and completely, and we can't absorb our life fully and completely until we, open up to everything. The wonder of the world wants to exist on the Scorpio, but we are in an emotional phase here. We were just learning to open our heart, period, to everybody on the earth, never mind what is beyond in the ether. So they're just making that known. It's an emotional immaturity that we're working through here. Challenge your perception. There is guidance wanting to come through. What do we get there? A loss. 3 of Cups. So it's simple. We may have had a loss just recently here, or dealing with a loss of some sort, and that is making it hard. That is challenging our perception of what we were believing in. So we may have someone who believed in religion and is dropping it because certain things don't add up, or we had a belief system in the metaphysical and are dropping it because things aren't adding up. We got a loss here. We keep losing instead of winning, and we're relating it to the metaphysical or to a religion or to something here that we're letting go of. And the sense they're giving me is that it's not because of that. There's other factors at play here, but because we are being simple-minded and simple emotionally, we do not understand the complexity here. Temperance. There it is, the moon. 18, discern illusion. So this is, right, where we, washing away the burdens. I feel like the Scorpio has made their mind up to ditch something here, either a belief in the metaphysical or a belief in religion or a belief in a god or something spiritual like this. They are cutting away here. Something happened here, created a great loss. There was a high pedestal that fell. Something was on a pedestal, it fell off. Something we had high hopes for didn't appear, and it really collapsed our whole belief system spiritually. This is what I'm getting. So because of the lack of emotional maturity in this way, it is going to make it hard to discern what is true and what is not true, and what is connected to something and not connected, including our fears that are keeping us limited. So it's very bleak in the spiritual side. So I'm going to keep going here into the work area. Hopefully we have some hope there, because the sense is we may be giving up on something that may have carried us through quite a bit here, but the sense they're giving me is that is an illusion. We are illusioned here. It's not really what we think it is. Our perception is a little off. Okay, man, I'm just having a hard time. Clearing my throat, and I didn't have any milk today. Sorry, guys. Must be the air quality. Okay. Next card on the work area. The Knight of Wands. Now they're giving me an energy here of kind of a ceremony. So Scorpio, what are we doing here? Because in the spiritual reading, and this is work, so I got to take that into account. In the spiritual side, we are giving up on either religion, God. We're doing a huge flip here. Flipping gears, huge on the spiritual side. So if we had a high belief in something, we are no longer. If something carried us for so long, we are giving up on it. This kind of thing. Now, as we move into the work area, I feel that spiritual presence here. Now, this woman is, give me a minute here. Yeah, it's the arrangement of things in our lives. They're going in our work area, whatever. Notice okay. They're going, notice the pentagram, and there seems to be somewhat of a little bit of a shrine there. So is this ceremony here? Again, I'm just going to leave it at that. They're really making me aware of that. And the energy that the salamanders are bringing about, because they are a fire element. There's a lot of fire elements here taking action on something. It may not have proved correct. Okay, we're kind of going through from the spiritual side. So next card. Okay, here we are at work. Queen of Swords. This is about gathering together with people. Now, this is someone could be an interviewer. You could be interviewing for a job, get along with someone, this kind of thing. It is a kinship in a business sense, or a business kind of way, since we're talking about business. We could meet up with someone here that is of like mind. Now, you gotta be careful here, because this can go either way. Next card, yeah, the Tower. This is what I was feeling spiritually. Tower is about a sudden shock or something that came about that threw us off our base. Now, here's the deal. I don't know, like, I just feel like great connection to the spiritual side having to do with our work. So we may have a job that is highly spiritually connected. Now, if that is the case, what I'm getting here is we may have been introduced to an energy field or somebody here, dabbling in something here that we felt. Now, this could go either way. We took on something from someone else and started going in the way that they were going. Now, I'm getting very occultish stuff. We started going on this train and started doing these things, and then all of a sudden something snapped. Something didn't go as planned, and again, going right back to the spiritual side, let's dig deeper into these trees, see if we can root up some of this stuff. Knight of Wands, very ceremonial. If I were to go nuts with this, I would say somebody into witchcraft or somebody into some kind of spiritual thing to bring about a manifestation. This is what I'm getting. I am getting a softer energy at this point, but that could flip, because the Tower's here. We just don't know what's going to go. So on the Knight of Wands, the birch tree, about growth and beginning. So we may, again, this is the ride we're on. Okay. We may be going off in a way of honoring a system here, where there's a new beginning in the way that we deal with our spiritual selves. Again, it may be highly connected to our career. This is either happening, opening up, or going to be in your future. Queen of Swords is somebody that comes into the picture to really we get along with. Everything's good, great, and wonderful. There's no negatives here. Each person, like if this person is interviewing, they're liking a lot of what you can give. They're open to what you do. If we're in the metaphysical, they are too. So it's all acceptable, and we're all great and groovy with everybody's energy. On top of there, we get the Ivy, talking about self and dealing with tenacity. So there's a sense here that what we offer, this other person is interested in, and they may have a tenacity toward us. I feel like the tenacity is coming from either the future employer or someone who is interested in our work, and they want to come at us. Well, the word exploit. So to exploit what we're doing. Take it any way you want it. Okay, the Tower. What happens there? Because this is where it could all break. That we have the apple tree about choice and healing. This may also have something to do with healing. The spiritual path is very multifaceted, right? I feel like whoever is coming at us, through this card, I feel everything is above board. I feel like both people are dealing with self. I feel like both these people are a vibrancy match, employer and employee, if that is the case. And I feel like they're both on a self-healing journey, no matter what the status. They're both on a self-healing journey. There's a tenacity for this employer to want to hire this Scorpio, okay? Because there's a resonance there within that. Now, as we move over to the apple tree, there's a choice that needs to be made. Are we going to accept this or not? I feel like on all levels, everything's a go here. But there's some healing getting in the way. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get too deep here. It's going to go deep, I can tell. So as we go back to this new beginning that is being offered to us with the Sun and Moon cards, we get the Ace of Cups. This can be about love. This can be about feelings of love, of joy, of happiness, period, emotions. We're overflowing with emotions in this area, in this new beginning. And there are some kind of rituals involved in what we do. Now, by rituals, it may mean that we have a periodic session where we have to go in and gain more information, more material on a consistent basis is what they're saying. So if we have a job, it is constantly having to do with upgrades. So I'll give you an example. It'd be like a doctor or a pharmacist. They constantly have to go in and learn about new meds and da-da-da. This is part of the job. So we do this, once every month, whatever it is, once every 6 months we go in and we go to a seminar to upgrade or whatever. This is just part of it. There's something like this in this way that I'm getting through this card. They're saying it's a systematic thing that we have to continually do. We have to tap into this in order to keep ourselves fluent in this new beginning, whatever that has to do. For everybody to be different. Ace of Cups. This is very, very good for the Scorpio. I feel the Scorpio feels good about that. Okay? That's all I can say there. Now, on the tenacity and the self, again, this person, this employer that wants to hire you, or a friend that wants to bring you in, or, something here is highly resonating by both people. Maybe just a partnership here, like a business partnership, where we see a great potential, and it is really emotionally charging, and we get excited when we talk about it with this person. Now, on top of this card, we get the pleasure. Yeah, wow. There's a lot of exciting feelings here having to do with this area, and also the person I feel that comes in makes us feel quite highly, more good than we could have come with on our own. Meaning, when they come into the picture, they make us see all kinds of angles we weren't even looking at. This kind of thing. So, there's that. Now as we go, and that's enjoyment between two people as well. Now as we go into the choice and healing, again, the Tower is here, having to do with healing. What do we get there? 10 of Cups, being satiated. I can't say that word the way they have it written. Satiety? I don't know if that's, but I think that's the way you say it. Satiety. Being emotionally fulfilled. These are all the cups are full. Now it's showing couples here. Sun and Moon card is male, masculine, feminine, whatever. And this is the Ace, the 6, and the 10. So it's like we go from being a vessel of love ourselves and going outward to others in this way, and also to a sense of having completion. Now this is your career area, but again, I feel like it is very hinged on the spiritual end. Now, if you are not highly driven in your career, then it's just your spiritual side. Something here you're going to come across. Somebody that will flip a switch in you spiritually, and may be a guide to help you get on your path, because we may be flipping a switch off, and this person is there to help you stay on your path, because we may be wanting to flip a switch off here. In other words, I'll give you an example. Okay, say, we had a death, and it was something that went wrong in our lives that would just made us that not believe in God anymore, or any kind of spiritual, if anybody, something that turned a corner for us, that we just felt like there was no spiritual end, there was no higher universe, if they can allow things like this to happen, this kind of stuff. So that belief system is wanting us to shut off and go in another direction. Now we go off in this direction and we get pulled by this energy of this person. Either, like I said, offering a job if that's the case. If not, it's a friendship or a companionship of some sort that brings us to our emotional fulfillment. Now we'll move into the love sector and see if this hits on another level. Because all these cups here, there's a lot of emotional stuff going on spiritually. So we'll see if we can tap into that romantically here. Okay, first card again, we are... Who are we with today? Scorpio. Yeah, I knew it was a water sign. Five of Swords, there it is, the disappointment again. Somewhere here we have been highly disappointed. This is more than the Three of Swords. This is the Five. It's just heavy, really heavy, right? There's flowers. He's taking his hat off in grief, and we feel like life is a huge struggle at this point. So there's that. The next card we get is the Three of Swords. What did I say? It's not the Three of Swords. It's the Three of Swords plus extra grief on top of that. Now this Three of Swords, obviously there's three in the picture and one's been taken out, but the sense here is that this may be the Scorpio energy is what they're saying. We may have taken someone out here, and instead of the partner running to us, they ran to the person that we were trying to take out. So somewhere here somebody doesn't fit, and also there's a sense of shock because things didn't go the way we wanted it to go. We may have been part of a third party, and instead of being the one that was chosen, we were the one that was kicked out. And this has created a lot of grief. Boom, there it is. Okay, next card. Not good news I'm delivering here. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles, that's the happiness card. Joyful fulfillment, you know, giggling until your belly hurts, this kind of stuff. So somewhere here, someone had a connection with a person that grand. And this is about the happiest, besides the Sun card in this deck, where you can have with another person. And somehow we lost it. Okay, we'll go into the next row here in Lenormand. On top of the grief card, we get 29, the waiting woman. We were waiting for a love to come in, and instead of coming to us, I think it disappeared to someone else. We were waiting upon things in the future, and what do we get? The next card on top of that, we have 11, the whip, which is about struggle, argument, strife. So, sorry man, I am just clogged up today. Here we had a situation here, a third party, and because of this might have been exposed, and because of this there's a lot of struggle and strife, the whip, and it's just not a lot of good communication going on. Now on top of this energy of getting along, we have 35, the anchor. The anchor is about being stable and secure. Weird. We may have felt like we were stable and secure in this relationship, but it fell apart. This may be the whole basis of this spiritual wanting to give up in every area here for the Scorpio, because we had a lot of belief in this partner, and the sense is that we felt we were stable, but the person was not there for us. Basically, what do you call that? Yeah, we were under an illusion somebody was on our side, but they actually took off to someone else, is the sense. We were waiting for this love to come through, and instead of coming through, it seems to have dissipated or disappeared altogether. Okay, let's keep going here. On top of the waiting woman, that's somebody waiting for romance, waiting for the perfect partner. What do we get there? We have the Judgment. This is interesting because this is about final decisions, a tying up or an untying of relationships. with this sadness card underneath and the waiting alone, that would signify an untying. So we may be at a turning point here where things are being untied from something we thought that would have been a secure thing. Okay, so here's the whip and the conflict. Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. She's always there to turn the man on. She's tempting him with her prowess, right? There's a sense of this either you doing this to someone else or someone else doing this to us. I feel like someone was doing this to the Scorpio, turning on the charm, you know, getting them into the boat, so to speak. Now, as we go through the solidity here, what do we get on the sex side? The Ten of Pentacles. Now, the 10 is an ending. And here, even though we have a man that is wanting to indulge in this woman, he is not touching her. And as a 10, I feel like that's where we ended. I feel like we felt like somebody wanted us, but they never got to us. We never could complete it. It didn't come to fruition. Some way, shape, or form. It might have been a long distance relationship where we just had high hopes and it never measured out. Or it could have been a relationship where we were distant and wanted to, you know, make this more of a thing, and it just didn't work out. Judgment's made. And when this judgment comes in, by the way, that is universal. That is from the higher realms here. Okay, as we get into the divine cards, on top of the judgment, tying together of two people or an untying together of two people, we have the moon card, right? The illusion. Because we are saddened by this relationship we were waiting on. It has not come to fruition. So the moon is about illusions. These raccoons are looking in the water and going, what is that? And meanwhile, it's the moon. One's looking at the moon head on. One's looking at the illusion. I feel like this is what's going on between this couple. There is an illusion. Somebody had the wrong, didn't, how do you say? Someone knew what was going on, the other person didn't. And I feel like the one that didn't was the Scorpio because it hit him hard. They just weren't part of the plan, and they didn't know that, and the other person did, is the sense I'm getting. Not good stuff. So somebody was turning on the charm here for the other partner. What do we get on top of that? The Emperor. Yeah, somebody was taking charge to make sure that they were in control of the situation, dominating the situation. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into that. And the 10, what do we get there? The Hangman. Yeah, a sense that this is just... I feel a great disappointment here, so I feel an ending. I feel that there's nothing going on here, so I feel it is so. But yet the Emperor here, I feel a strong energy from him to not let this go. Yet we are not speaking. That sword is down. In fact, we cannot even see the point of it. It is half in a rock. Give me a minute what that means to them. Because they're going, notice how it's in a rock. I was like, yeah, I didn't notice that before. Buried secrets, buried truths. That's what they said. And the Scorpio, right, with their instinct, might have had some access to this, but again, didn't know why it didn't continue. But we didn't get all the answers here, but the sense is we had the wrong idea here somewhere. And because of this, it put this relationship in limbo. Now let's see what Casanova has to say. The moon, secrets again, on top of secrets. The Emperor, control, secrets. We keep the secrets so we can keep the relationship in control. And the control was to eventually let it go. One person knew this wasn't going to be a long-term thing. The other person didn't. Okay, on top of the moon, we have the King of Cups. Now, he's a protector, and he is at a distance, And he uses his creativity. Now, this is a good dude. Is this the same one or not? I don't know. But this one is of love and loyalty and creativity. And he also has a protection in this deck, an air of protection over the Scorpio energy. Now, this could be protection of ourselves, or this could be someone else outside of us in protection somehow here. Okay, the Emperor. What do we get on him? 13, the last embrace. Yeah, somebody here was very much in control and knew the last time was the last time. Like, we're not, I will go no longer. But somebody else just didn't know. Okay, so there's an ending here. Okay, just simple as that is all I'm getting here. The Hangman. We get one's own greed. So there's somebody here that may have been keeping their finances along with their emotions to themselves, not wanting to share in the relationship, and this may have led to its downfall. Simple as that. Now I'm going to bring in some infinity geometry cards here on that King. Is this a new person or not here? We get the complex mandala. Whenever I have a complex, it's a meditative zone here. Yeah, they're showing me all the wheels spinning, and they go, this was not a smooth ride. In fact, everything is seized. Had the potential to go, but it just seized. Okay, so is this a new energy? No, I feel like this is actually your energy here. In the white innocence of everything, and then this is them coming to the last call kind of thing. So what do we get geometry on there? We get a complex wheel. Spikes. Yeah, for this person, they did not... right, there's an hourglass and there's spikes, what they're showing me. And spikes are really, insinuating a lot of pain came from this relationship. In fact, it should not have gone as far as it did down this road. And that may have been, the control factor of this Emperor may have kept it in play a little longer than it needed to be. But the Scorpio needed to learn a lesson as well here. And because of that, there was extra pain that was put upon one. But again, that does come back in karma to that opposite person. Which I feel will just no longer be in our field or allowed to as well. I feel partly... Okay, I'll go back to this energy. I feel partly this is spiritual as well. Spiritual protection from our, spirit guides, higher realms, this kind of thing. That this is seized because this person would just keep going and going and going. But again, we learned our lesson here. So we endured as much pain as we could take and now cut it off. And the bottom line here is someone was in their greed. They either wanted control of the situation, emotional supply of the situation, like a vampire, emotional vampire, romantic vampire. This is what we had. And they were in their own greed, taking. And the Scorpio finally said no more, or, the situation hurt so much that we could not endure. Now, on top of that, we get the complex swirl. And notice the difference between the two swirls, like the two... This mandala, smooth wheels, and they're, these ones are different. Read my mind. These ones are different. They're swirly, and they kind of remind me of children holding hands. And they're going, this is our future. We need to go forward into our future with a positive outlook. So this is really what it is. I think this whole relationship made us question everything that we are on a spiritual level. And that has a high price to pay for the person who was intending to do harm. Because there's a sense here, we were done harm to intentionally, and even though we couldn't believe that, we endured enough that we realized that this was the truth. So some great healing will have to come from this. And the sense here is, if we look to our career, or spirituality is in question right now, but if we look to our career, this is where we might be able to make headway, because it's all about the emotional center and getting it back up and running. And we feel like we may make some career-minded connections that will help us in this. So that's my best, what do you call that, prediction for you, is to look to your career. We are going to make connections there that will make us, that will satiate us, and bring us back to life here, because on the personal side, just nothing good there. Alrighty. That's, oh, there's your Christmas, sorry to say, but the outlook is good. If we get past the healing here, is basically what's going on. So Scorpio, that is your reading for the winter season. I will be back after the 15th, 20th of January, and I will bring more readings then. In the meantime, take care, have fun, stay safe over the Christmas season. Hope you are enjoying it with friends and family that care for you. And take care and be kind. We will catch you next year.